good enough right now. I mean, that's what you can expect. Getting the turnover from Drew Brees is critical for them. And then Cam Newton, you cannot turn the ball over there at the end of the half. It just cannot happen. No. You have points. Cam Newton's got to do more with this offense. And if all else fails, use his legs to run for the first down.
Let's look at the K Jewelers' extraordinary moments.
Well, this Panthers defense is keeping them in this game. To help these guys from scoring a touchdown, they're stopping the run. That's where it starts, and then double covering and not allowing Michael Thomas to make plays. And then the turnover. Critical down, Thomas Davis following it, tracking it in man coverage, and flipping the field position. They couldn't capitalize because of the interception that Cam Newton had before the half. But this defense is playing good, keeping them in the game. Cam Newton has got to take it over here in the second half.
Now that guy is dangerous in the return game. Camaro, see if he gets a chance from Catanzaro. Lisa caught up with Sean Payton.
Yeah, Tess, I just talked to Sean Payton coming out of the locker room, and I said, hey, Coach, another slow offensive start. How do you get some more offense? He said, hey, I am not going to worry about it. I'm not going to make an emergency because we had a slow offensive start. We're playing a very good defensive team. He said, this is always a defensive battle. I'm not worried about style points, he said, Tess. I'm just worried about winning the game.
Isn't it funny how the NFL narratives change? Right? The group think, oh, another slow start for the Saints. What were we saying a month ago about the Saints offense? Now all of a sudden, since the Dallas game and the first half against Tampa and what we see here tonight, man, oh man, this league is wild, isn't it? Able to slither through his Camara, and that's a good start to the second half as he goes for nearly 10 yards that time.
Well, they're coming back to trying to get the running game established. Camara sees the hole and he hits it. And that's how they have to do it. They got to get more downhill here in the second half. Sean Payton's got a good pulse on it. He said, hey, look, we're not going to hang 50 points every week. And he has a good feel for what it takes to win these games. And he is perfectly fine winning these games 17-14.
They go with Zach Line, the fullback, who muscles ahead for 5.
You know, one of the reasons why this offense is struggling is their ability to contain Michael Thomas. The ability to come down, break the pass up there, frustrating him. How do you do it? You be physical with him. You knock him down. You bang him a little bit. You frustrate him a little bit. The ball doesn't come to him. And you can see the frustration starting to mount with Michael Thomas.
Takes the pitch to Ingram. Sets up in the pocket and drives it to Michael Thomas, who was wide open and then taken down by Bradbury. And in doing so, the way Bradbury did, the flags come out after the 20-yard reception. You see Max Unger is slow to get up at the end of that play. Starting center, has been first team All-Pro in the past.
You know, Tess, right on target. You know, we talk about limiting Michael Thomas. How about Sean Payton dials it up for him? A little play action, a little over route, getting his number 1 guy involved.
Now that's Cameron Tom, who is already getting some snaps in.
There are fouls against both teams that will offset and cause a down to be replayed. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 14, 13. Personal foul, grabbing the face mask, defense, number 24. By rule, these penalties will offset, replay, first down.
Well, Thomas and Bradbury, the guys who were matched up there. Watch the end of this play and you'll see it. Dueling face masks. Well, let's watch Unger here. Watch number 60, starting center. As Thomas Davis drove him back.
Losing Unger hurts this football team, the Saints offense, because he's the guy up front. He communicates, get them lined up, make the mic calls. He handles all that for Drew Brees.
So we replay the first down. They do so with Ingram, and Ingram is taken down by Shaq Thompson. As KK Short also clogging things up in the middle.
You know, New Orleans struggled last week against Tampa, and it was their ability to come out in the second half and establish the run game that got the offense going. You can see Sean Payton trying to do something very similar here tonight in Carolina.
Second and 10 for Breeze. And in stride, and the ball comes out of Ben Watson's hands. That is incomplete, and nice work from Jackson at the end of the play to get involved. Beautiful throw from Breeze, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great throw. Right, exactly the way you want it, to how it's going to play. But give Dante Jackson credit in that zone coverage, coming in behind him and knocking it out.
You know, Dante Jackson's the only rookie cornerback to start every game. He's got phenomenal speed, track speed. He's playing really, really well, learning on the fly here for the Carolina Panthers.
I think they may challenge this. Jackson got in.
New Orleans is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
Incomplete as of now, but did Watson have firm control, make a football move? Ruling on the field was confirmed as incomplete. They're looking for a football move at the end of this. After you get firm control, is there a football move? And they say there wasn't one prior to Dante Jackson disrupting that and dislodging it from Ben Watson.
And that's the right call. And for Ben Watson, when you're running down the seam, that thing's just got to be tucked because you don't know where that nearest defender is. You don't know if it's in front of you or behind you. And the veteran tight end has played some good football this year. Got to secure that catch.
And Jackson, great-looking rookie out of LSU, who went to Riverdale High School back home in Louisiana, just about a 15-minute drive away from the Superdome. Somebody asked him this week about playing the Saints. He said, listen, I'm not a Saints fan anymore. No, he isn't. He is an emerging young star for the Panthers, who now have the Saints in a 3rd and 10. Breeze with time, drives the ball, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Traquan Smith, who was right at that line to make, but once again it was Dante Jackson on coverage.
Well, they showed like they were going to double team Michael Thomas, and they rolled back and played zone coverage in behind there. And Drew saw it, drilled it in there. Things sailed on him a little bit, but the young rookie's got to come up with that play. But that's what you want from your Panthers defense. Big stop. Now Cam has got to take advantage.
See, more of Thomas Morstead than we're used to this season. He's punting again here, and another beauty directionally as Barner is left without an option. That was a rough tackle at the end of that by Hardy. But a 45-yard punt from Thomas Morstead. Watch Justin Hardy here in coverage. Just rip him down.
It's football, guys. It's a physical sport. He didn't grab the face mask, grabbed him by the neck. It looked bad. Man, it's football week. Come on, man.
Look good to me.
This is not two-hand touch, man. This is a man's game. This is a physical contact sport. Nice no call there by the refs.
Cam's got to have a short memory. He's got to forget about what happened there at the end of the half. Regroup. His defense is playing great for him. Now he's got to take advantage.
8th-year veteran has been playing with that sore right shoulder. As McCaffrey makes his way out close to the 20. Now that first half with Cam Newton, of course, the interception there at the end, that was costly. You know, I mentioned the sore right shoulder, but, you know, he misses the midweek practice time. It poses a challenge.
It's a big challenge because for him, the fundamentals go away. North Turner said he worried about it the last month. When you're not practicing at the quarterback position, you need that. And not only for himself, for his own fundamentals and the timing, but for everybody else. He's got young receivers around him. And they need those practice reps.
Yeah, they're limiting his work. You don't see him on Wednesday and Thursday. No, but to your point, listen, you got some young guys there in the offense, so it affects the others as well. Not just Cam and his timing and his rhythm. 2nd and 7. That was batted away that time by Apple. Apple had the interception in the first half. Former Giant was the first-round pick, 2016.
They're just getting up and playing tight man-to-man coverage, and you know, Wright's just got to separate. When you're short, running short underneath routes, you have to get separation. The only way you do that is with your stem of your route. You have to influence it because you know that ball's going to be on you quick.
Eli Apple's playing well. DB coach Aaron Glenn has done a nice job with him here in New Orleans.
And we got the whistle and the flags here. You can see that there was some movement.
False start, offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
And it's the first accepted penalty on the Panthers tonight.
You know, guys, Cam gets criticized a lot. You know, since Steve Smith, he hasn't really had a number one wide receiver. So they're trying to manufacture something. You know, Funchess is a bigger body. DJ Moore, they're trying to find him. I would love this offseason for Carolina to get this young man a true number one wide receiver. So now maybe we can see, does he have an effect the way Amari Cooper had on Dak Prescott?
Third down and 12. They bring 4 over the middle as he was trying to throw it to the inside of Christian McCaffrey, and it goes incomplete.
But the big thing is when you talk accuracy with Cam, and I know he's having a career year with that. It's the ones that I look at on tape is that they're not all measured the same. Some are more important than others. And in this one here, it's a critical third down. McCaffrey gets separation, but he sees the hole and he's settling in there, and Cam leads him. Not being on the same page can't happen.
So Pilardi will set up at the 1 to punt away to Tommy Lee Lewis. As he turns this ball over and drives Lewis back to the 35. Penalty flag comes in right there. Good coverage that time by Carolina. Notice Jermaine Carter Jr. with the tackle.
Still getting chippy, Tess. Still getting chippy down here.
Yep. NFC South rivalry with a little emotion after the sweep last year and the shipment of the wine and the broom that they've been staring at that locker room all season long.
Tess, did we ever identify what that year on that cab was?
I don't know. Trust me.
During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 32. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's not coming from your wine cellar, Boog, I'll tell you that. 63 years, this small town. It's only 700 folks that live there. It's transformed into Christmas Town, USA. What a scene that is. Now all he wants for Christmas is a win. They want the losing streak gone. They want to keep playoff chances alive. Meanwhile, this guy wants the number 1 seed in the NFC as he gets it to Thomas does Breeze, but we will check on the flag back at the 22-yard line on the heels of that 16-yard reception.
Illegal formation, offense. Wide receiver covered up an interior wide receiver. 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
Hey, Lisa, what can you tell us about Max Unger, the center for the Saints?
Yeah, Tess, well, he's right now back in the Saints locker room. I'm being told that he's being evaluated for a concussion. His return to this game questionable.
So Cameron Tom replaces him.
Just don't see those pre-snap penalties on the Saints often. Offense happen very much. And, when you think about it, and then they had the 3rd and 1 there where Kamara false start, and then their pre-snap penalties. It's critical that they get back on track.
And Kamara is stacked up at the line of scrimmage by Thomas Davis.
Thomas Davis just has such great awareness of where things are at and how he plays. He sees it, he understands it. When he spots in the drop and then shoots the gap, he knows that the play action possibly is an option for him. But then when he realizes that it's a handoff, he drives on it before the lineman can get to the second level.
Thomas Davis, part of that fraternity of the Walter Payton Man of the Year that we were discussing earlier. 14th season for Davis. 2nd and 15, batted down and falls to the ground. Boy, Wes Horton thought that perhaps he had a shot of it as Julius Peppers was coming in after Drew Brees. Getting that big left hand up. Of course, Pep is 6'7" with that wingspan.
And how about Julius Peppers? He's the oldest defensive player in the National Football League. He is still getting it done, especially against the run on first down and second down. Can he turn it up right now on third down and get to Drew Brees?
3rd and 15. Panthers defense has been solid tonight. What can they do here? Kamara on the screen as he is ridden down at about the 30-yard line that time. Gets 11 of it back before Kuechly and Adams find him. Kuechly chasing Kamara.
Yeah, he spotted it early. He knew that it was a screen pass. He tries to get through there before those linemen can get on him. And hey, look, this defense is playing well. Another big stop, and it goes back to Cam. He's going to forget all the other stuff. He just needs to play quarterback better right now.
Coming after Morstead that time. Flag is down as Morstead is still down on the ground. The veteran punter had David Mayo surging in on him.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense number 55. 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
So the Saints offense will stay on the field. That's always a concern when the plant foot, as you're extended that in that full vertical swing, is vulnerable to the man coming in, and that was the case as you saw him crashing into that leg of Thomas Morstead. We'll take a timeout as the medical staff gets to the veteran punter. Was able to sprint off the field. Looks fine over there on the sideline.
And Tess, this is a critical time for this defense. You get a stop, you're on the sideline, you celebrate. Now you got to come back on the field. Critical time for the Panther defense.
Wide receiver screen thrown a little bit too far behind, and it's going to go for a loss of 3 that time.
Where you can never give Brees a second at bat like this. That was just a bad play by David Mayo. He's unaware. Look, you play plays like that, that'll send your team fishing here in about 3 weeks. Because you won't be playing in the postseason with mistakes like that.
And guys, notice what Carolina's doing. They're constantly putting the New Orleans Saints in second and long and third and long, making Sean Payton dial up long plays.
Brees going to throw back to the screen, and boy, was that dangerous. As Addison was waiting on Kamara, it's a loss of 5 that time.
They're just all over it, though. They go with the play action, fake it, look like they're going to take a shot. No, come back with the screen. This veteran bunch, man, with the Carolina Panthers, they are not going to give up their hopes. They know that it's falling on their shoulders. If they got to win this thing, 10-6 or 7-6, they're fine with it. They're going to put it on their shoulders and make plays.
3rd and 18. He goes underneath, and then a big hard hit comes in by way of Reed on Thomas. And as they just get 10 of it back, and they'll be trotting off the field on 4th down. Now there is Morstead back out there. Flag comes in at the 13-yard line.
The Saints offense, just something doesn't seem right with them the last few weeks. I mean, we saw it last night with the Rams, too.
That's right.
Well, I just think defenses have had a lot of time this season to study these high-powered offenses. And coaches have tendencies, and people are starting to pick up on their tendencies right now, speaking of the Rams and the Saints.
This weekend just looked different, though, didn't it?
Well, Joe, if you're talking about the Rams offensive line just got embarrassed last night. And I think for the Saints, it's not necessarily the offensive line, it's the physicality in which teams are playing them. Tampa did it, Dallas did it the best, and Carolina's doing it tonight.
Player on the offense out of bounds during the kick. Carolina has exercised the option of having this 5-yard penalty added to the end of the play. First down.
But some of the oddities we saw this weekend, it leaves us with an NFC playoff chase that looks this way. Now, Carolina needs wins, and they need help because Redskins and Vikings didn't help them. Of course, the Eagles with the big win against the Rams, so they're at the 7-win plateau. Vikes have that tie as well, and you see the remaining schedule where you're going to get this scheduling quirk where they got to go at New Orleans in the finale. I guess the Vikings offense woke up a bit yesterday, didn't they? Cam comes to the near side looking for McCaffrey, who still gets ahead against Klein. Former Panther A.J. Klein.
Well, it's a good job by North Turner getting McCaffrey out in space. He's their best weapon. You know, we're being critical of Cam, and rightfully so. But the other part of it is these receivers have to get separation. They have to win on the routes, and he's the best weapon. It's harder to do that out of the backfield, getting him out wide, give him an easy hitch to throw it, and a first down.
How good is Christian McCaffrey, guys? 90 catches on the season. Are you kidding me?
This time he just gets ahead for about 2.5. He's had a superb season. You know, leads the team in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. I mean, that is a rarity when you go across the board of leading a team. You talk recent players to do it. Charles with the Chiefs in 2013. You got to go all the way back to Joe Cribbs in '83 for the other one. With all 4 of those categories, the rush yards, the rush touchdowns, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. But that is the case for Christian McCaffrey. And then, of course, tonight he threw a touchdown pass to Chris Manhertz. And this is Samuel. And as he goes ahead for 2, Curtis Samuel, who missed time earlier this season and came back week 5. And he's been an X factor for them.
You know, and this down coming up here is critical for the Carolina Panthers. It's 3rd down. Your defense is playing well. The one thing you don't want to do is keep putting them back on the field over and over and over again. They're going to have to be creative and convert one of these 3rd downs. Look for McCaffrey to be involved.
3rd and 6. Try to keep this drive alive as they go over the middle, and he gets it to Jarius Wright to move the chains. 9 yards there.
Well, that's how they're going to have to play. Just dump it out underneath quick, get it out of his hands. Good first down. Now build on it. Momentum. One of the things, they came in the league, into this game tonight, leading the league in rushing yards per attempt. You know, at over 5 yards a carry. They're not having that success tonight, and so you're going to force them to have to throw it underneath.
Here they go on the ground with McCaffrey, who was trying to find something down the line on the left side. Didn't find much. And as you saw, Tyler Davison waiting on him there. You know, with a win tonight, and we told you, listen, there's a lot of math that has to happen with Carolina, but the Football Power Index says a win tonight and the Panthers have just over an 11% chance to make the playoffs. And a loss, they're basically eliminated, be under 1%. But for New Orleans, you know, they're going for that number 1 seed. With a win tonight, they'd be over 95% to lock in that number 1 seed. But with a loss, they go down to 64%. Got the head-to-head against the Rams, but got to win 2 of the last 3. As once again looking for Wright there. And he goes for 7 more on that. The 3rd and short.
And that 1 seed is critical for the Saints to go get. I mean, you talked about it, but I mean, look at Drew Brees tonight. I mean, 53% completion percentage, only 6 points, no touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean,
life on the road.
Yeah, it's tough on the road, outside, and that environment. At home, it's off the charts. And he is, you know, one of the leaders in the clubhouse with Patrick Mahomes for an MVP this year. But it's tough when you're on the road.
Here's Cam as he gives that little shuffle, and then let's see where they mark him. As you see, the unofficial yellow line was right at midfield.
And Joe, even if it's short, I'm going for this right now. You got a quarterback as big as Cam Newton. If he leans forward, he can get the first down. Use his physical stature as a strength here.
I think that was a bad spot. I mean, you're going to see him lean.
See if you see a knee down or a forearm down by the time he reaches out.
He's got great balance after the contact.
And challenge flag is down. As it stands now, it's a 4th one, but you be the judge. Is he down here, or does he stretch forward?
Carolina is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down by contact short of the line to gain.
Take a break, see what they come up with when we return here. Panthers holding on that 1-point lead. He officially made the line to gain there as Cam Newton was stretching forward. There's where you see the final point of being down. That 50-yard line was the line to make.
And he has a good feel for where the first down line is. I think earlier in the game there, I said he has great run after catch. I meant to say he's great run after contact. And he does that with his draws, his ability to get back to the line of scrimmage and know exactly what he needs for the first down.
They go with an inside handoff, and it works beautifully with DJ Moore. The ball comes out at the end, and it appears as if Klein has it. And he does. Fumble recovery, A.J. Klein. Beautifully executed play by the Panthers that ends with a turnover.
Just a costly mistake there. You know, in that play, that was the big play that Cleveland got them on last week. They faked the fly sweep. They're going to pitch it out like they're going to McCaffrey and come back to DJ Moore. Use his speed, his balance. And the rookie just not protecting the ball down the field. Costly mistake. They got him punched
out by Bell. Von Bell with a forced fumble. And then A.J. Klein, who was a Panther during the Super Bowl year, was a 5th-round pick out of Iowa State by the Panthers in 2013. Comes up with the recovery. And that is where the Saints will take over. So 2 turnovers in Saints territory for the Panthers. And Breeze goes right back to Thomas.
And this is when you see Drew take advantage of it. You know, this is when he plays his best football. You get a turnover, something like that happens, he usually responds. And it's been off tonight. That machine's not rolling like we've seen earlier in the year. Look for him to do exactly that. Get the quick game going, ball out mentality. That's the way they want to play. And then take their shot down the field. Michael Thomas is that guy.
Ready, yellow lady, yellow lady. Ready, we're waiting. What's that?
2nd and 1. And Ingram will go ahead for the first down. Breeze wrapped up. First sack for the Panthers as Butler and Thompson bring down Breeze.
Well, they're going to run the play action and try to get in there. And here he is. He comes back around it. They have a good feel. They're going to loop back around. And on those play actions, hard for those linemen to pass it off like you do on 3rd down.
And remember, Cameron Tom is in for Max Unger, the starting center. And that is exactly who Vernon Butler went around there. So now it's a 2nd and 18. As Kamara motions out, empty look here for Breeze. Can he dig out of a hole? Overthrown that time, and a flag comes in from far away as Dante Jackson, and you can see he's saying, wait a minute, was that catchable? Ron Rivera feels it was uncatchable as Jackson is tagged here.
Pass interference, defense number 26. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul and an automatic first down.
18-yard penalty off of that.
And that's the right call because they're going to say, hey, when he pulled him like that, he couldn't keep running to even make it have a chance on the play. So, you know, you can't have that mistake there. he sees him when he comes in on the bender. You got to meet him at the spot. You can't run in behind him because Michael Thomas is too athletic.
First down completion. Kamara out of the backfield. They'll set him up with a 2nd and short as he goes for 9 yards there.
And now, as you get close to midfield for this New Orleans Saints offense, it's going to be important for Carolina. Stay back, because now is the time that Sean Payton likes to go for the jugular and hit a ball over the top for a big play.
You know, I agree with you, Poke, but the one thing I think about Sean Payton right now is that play action hasn't been working out. So I see him running the ball and keep running these quick, empty passes and go on a 12-play drive.
Ready. We're waiting. Beside.
Once again, they go to Zach Line, the fullback, and Line maybe just short of what was needed here. Watch Eric Reed come up and fill a bit behind this front. So much has been asked of Kuechly and this defense. You look up at that scoreboard and you see that 6 next to New Orleans. That's a first down. Remember this after the pass interference. The Panthers at times giving Saints life here, an opportunity. Cam had the opportunity there before half, but had the interception thrown in the end zone. There was the roughing the punter and the pass interference moments ago.
That might have been a bad spot there.
Looked like Line was a bit short. They gave him that forward progress before Reed pulled him back. Here's the pitch with Kamara. Great pursuit down the line that was finished off by Keek the Freak. The lateral speed as we come to the end of 3.
Watch this guy run, though. He sees the toss sweep. He's not letting anybody get in his way. Luke Kuechly.
We're heading to the 4th, and the Saints are trailing, looking to lock up that #1 seed. Start of the 4th quarter. And a 2nd and 11 for Breeze and company. Here's Thomas. As Thomas plows ahead right beyond Shaq Thompson and goes for 12 yards there. Well earned by Michael Thomas, wasn't it?
That was a good run after catch by Thomas. But, you know, Riverboat Ron has been so good at these challenges. I'm surprised he didn't challenge. You're going to see him there. He had an opportunity 3 plays ago. That was a 2nd down. That was short. But the way your defense is playing, I'm really surprised he didn't challenge that. Force him into a 3rd down, a critical 3rd down at that.
First down again for Breeze. And he had a check down that time as he went to Ingram.
You know, it's amazing, Tess. If you were watching tonight expecting a monster night from Kamara or Michael Thomas or Drew Brees or McCaffrey, you are not having fun because these offenses have not shown up and played there. But this is the critical stretch for Drew. He capitalized on it. They get that 1st down, and that's what they're doing now. They're throwing it underneath and allowing these guys to do it with the run after catch because that play action, they're not able to block it up front with the way the Panthers are rushing.
Taysom Hill in the game now. Big athletic do-it-all guy picks up the block, and look at Taysom Hill. I'll tell you, he can turn it on with speed. 17 yards from the Swiss Army knife, Taysom Hill.
Well, it's just a zone read, but the difference is he's got a lead blocker with his tight end coming back across. It's a good read by Hill. The end comes down the line. He gets Hill out in front of him. A nice run. This guy's got good speed. And the good thing that Sean's doing on these zone reads when he keeps it, he has a lead blocker leading the way as an extra cleanup guy in his tight end.
Guy who's completed passes, he's run for touchdowns, he's caught passes, he's returned kicks, tackles on special teams, and last week a blocked punt. 10th play of this drive, it's Mark Ingram as he makes that cut inside the 20, and here come the Saints.
Running the football, Joe, being a power run team. You come Taysom Hill, then on the other side you bring back Mark Ingram. Ingram is the juice. He's the guy that gives this team the physicality, starts left, bends it back outside, and you force little guys to tackle big guys. Nice little cut there by Mark Ingram. Dante Jackson, yeah, you can't make that tackle, young man.
But it's the misdirection. Drew's opening up to his left, giving that fake there, and then coming back on the outside. Horton, the defensive end, he's got to be able to shed and cut off the backside.
2nd and 3. Saints with some offensive momentum. Kamara hits the gas pedal and gets in. – 16-yard touchdown, Alvin Kamara.
Well, his receivers did a great job blocking on the perimeter, allowing him to then capture the edge. It's inside zone. Michael Thomas, the do-it-all receiver, captures the edge, and they want to run. That's the thing about Sean Payton. He saw Mark Ingram get out there, said, let's go back out on the outside. He lost contain, Bradbury.
And you got to go for 2 here, obviously, to try to make this a 7-point margin.
You know, usually you see a lot of pick plays down here by the goal line when teams go for 2.
Breeze looking for an option. And instead it's picked off. As Jackson, are you kidding me? Look at this. Dante Jackson. Two of your own, says Carolina.
Well, Drew's trying to keep it alive. He's extending it. And those guys plaster. That's all they talk about. And Jackson needed to make this play because he had the pass interference on the 3rd down that allowed them to set up this touchdown drive. And now, Tess, it's just a field goal game.
They were looking for a touchdown margin. Instead, it drops down to 3. Tay Jackson with all that speed. Remember at the combine, he ran a 4.32, and he was blazing on the pick 2, not the pick 6, the pick 2, the 2-point conversion return.
Well, Drew was really going to throw this to Thomas coming across. He had an angle on Bradbury, but what happened was Jackson on the outside, he comes off of it because Kamara stopped running, so Jackson's able to jump that route, and when he does, good eyes and nice play on it because Kamara pulled up. Drew didn't see him come off on that play. Jackson made up for that pass interference early in the drive.
Garner returns it out. 26-yard line. USAA and the NFL pay tribute to our armed forces through the salute to service. Eugenio Rivera, father of Panthers head coach Ron Rivera, 32 years in the U.S. Army. He was an engineer. He served in Germany and France. Had a couple tours of duty in Vietnam. You know, Coach grew up on 5 military bases in 3 different countries. So proud of his father.
You know,
Dante Jackson, according to Next Gen Stats, traveled 121.9 yards on that play to get 2 on the board for the Panthers and make this a 3-point margin. How does Cam respond? Jumping on that ball as if it was a completion.
Pass is ruled incomplete.
But it is an incomplete pass. That was Demario Davis who disrupted the end of that play with McCaffrey. Didn't tuck it away, never had firm control.
Yeah.
You know, but both teams are really trying to give this game away. Can Cam put one drive together? You know, they had an opportunity to make it 14-7. Instead, it's a 3-point game. Can he put one together?
Here's Newton. That was nowhere close. A.J. Klein was hoping he would get a chance at that. It's going to be 3rd and 10.
And guys, think about Carolina. Some of the opportunities they squandered tonight is because of turnovers. Cam down in the red zone. throwing a big Eli Apple. He's got to put more air into the ball. And then when you do get a play, DJ Moore is getting physical and trying to get down, and then Von Bell comes in and knocks the ball out. The turnovers for Carolina are killing them tonight, especially when they get opportunities to score.
And especially throws like that.
Yeah.
We just saw on second down.
Well, and when you watch Cam Newton throw the ball, guys, he's an upper body thrower, and that leads to a lot of his inconsistencies.
3rd and 10. And McCaffrey spinning and out towards the 47-yard line as he goes for 22 yards on 3rd and 10.
But that's what he does. He comes back, he responds, steps up in the pocket, escapes, and then becomes a passer. Get it out of his hands. Now a little tempo. Get it out of the huddle. Get a little confidence going here. And that's the guy he wants to get it to, is McCaffrey.
Such a weapon on 3rd down. And this time a little shuffle, and he crosses midfield. Taken down by Davis.
That's that old school delayed draw. You fake like you're going to throw the quick smoke screen. He fooled me, and then come back with an inside run. So changing it up. But when you're getting 5 yards a pop, stay with it.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey's getting close. He's one broken tackle away, and he's trying to slip out of there. He's close to breaking a big one, guys.
2nd and 5, play action. Newton steps up, and now he's going to run. 1st down, and Moore slides down. We're going to check on a flag back near midfield there as Newton went ahead for 11.
Holding, offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty, and repeat, 2nd down.
It's Trey Turner, the right guard.
Well, Trey Turner's the right guard. He's lined up right here. Just these penalties. The thing about what's happening tonight, they throw him down. They're going to call that every time. And Cam did a good job escaping the pocket. But the thing about the mistakes tonight, it's their best players it's happening to. We talked about the Cam interception for the half. The fumble by Moore, their 1st-round pick. And then their top offensive lineman with the mistake there with the holding penalty. Can't happen, especially not your best players.
Well, now you have them in a situation in which this offense is uncomfortable.
Second and 15 after the penalty. There's McCaffrey looking for something as he works his way past midfield.
Just trying to get some of it back, but with where they're at now, and that's the way they're attacking the field. So it's underneath. And I'd look for him to do it again. You never know. New Orleans could bring some pressure here, but get McCaffrey on a little choice route out of the backfield, a little option route. He's tough to deal with. He's got great hands, and he understands the zone coverage.
3rd and 7. They bring some pressure. And Newton is wrestled down. That was Von Bell coming in on a safety blitz. Called at the perfect time by DC Dennis Allen.
Well, when he comes on this blitz, he's going to be right here. And there's McCaffrey. He's got to step up and make that pickup on that blitz. He sees both of them come, and they actually bring them, both of them, and he goes like he's blocking inside. And the guard just kind of left him hanging there.
Yeah, just bad communication between McCaffrey and the guard. One guy has to take the safety, the other guy takes the linebacker.
You see him talking right there.
Yeah.
Miscommunication.
So Pilardi on to punt. As this angles out, you see where they march this off. Under 9 minutes to play and a 3-point lead for the Saints. It's brought to you by Goodyear. The 5-game slide that started with that blowout loss to Pittsburgh and then the close losses where they just couldn't find their way to hometown Panthers, and now facing
Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
the Saints team that has won back-to-back division titles to try to lock in the #1 seed in the NFC if they can win 2 of these last 3. 3-point line. And you can see the offensive line that's in there for New Orleans, some change-ups, Boog.
Yeah, they moved the left guard, Pete, the left tackle. Bushrod is in the locker room. Now you bring in Will Clapp, the rookie out of LSU. This is his first game dressing tonight. He's in the left guard.
Ingram getting ahead out to the 35. Well, that #1 seed. Rams lost to the Eagles. The remaining games, they'll get this real odd scheduling quirk of getting the Panthers again in week 17. 2 wins will secured. Of course, head-to-head edge goes to the Saints because of that 45-35 win back in early November against the Rams. Rams with the perceived easier schedule, but assume nothing in the NFL right now. We learned that yesterday, didn't we?
And Tess, I'm concerned about the Rams. Their offensive line was terrible last night. They got to become a more physical team, stopping the run and protecting Jared Goff.
There's Breeze on second down, taken down by Munnerlyn. Second sack for Carolina tonight.
Well, Munnerlyn's going to come free. He's right off here. He's the slot, nickel slot. He's going to blitz right off the edge. The line doesn't account for him. They squeeze down. Too late getting back out. And a big sack in back-to-back weeks.
And that's what happens when your left tackle goes down. Anders Pete, the left tackle now, he's used to playing left guard. So a little confusion there. Ron Rivera recognized, guess what? A normal left tackle's not in there. Let's see if they can communicate, and they could. Nice play there by the Panthers.
They're 0 for 4 on 3rd and 10 or longer tonight. This is a 3rd and 14 as he goes out to midfield and connects with Kirkwood.
What a throw. What a throw. I mean,
it was a great throw, but Munnerlyn, I'm not sure what he was doing in this moment. Here, fall back. Keep tracking him. You're in cover 2. You got the hook. Keep getting depth, but you can't say enough about Drew.
How about the 2 old veterans colliding there?
Yeah, I mean,
the 38-year-old Julius Peppers crashing home against the 39-year-old Drew Brees. And Brees stepping right in there and delivering 19 yards on 3rd and 14. And then goes to Thomas on 1st down.
That was the play of the game, though, in my mind. I mean, you have to get depth in that coverage. It's 3rd and long. Don't come off of it. When they're running seam passes, carry them. And don't allow Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play, squeeze that throw in there.
And this Saints team in 4th quarters, when it comes to ball control this year, they're averaging 8 minutes, 58 seconds in time of possession. That's the NFL best for 4th quarter ball control.
And guys, we've given the Carolina Panther defense a lot of accolades all night. Can they do it again right now as Taysom Hill motions out?
Direct snap to Alvin Kamara. And Kamara goes airborne as flags fly in as he was meeting up with Eric Reed downfield.
Holding, offense, number 7, 10-yard penalty, and repeat, 2nd down.
Well, Hill's on the edge. He's going to block. That ball's coming out there. Watch me on Thomas Davis. You got to let go. He keeps going. That's a costly mistake there.
That is a spot foul.
If you're Carolina, you've been given a second opportunity here to try to get a stop. How much does this defense have left in the tank? They played their hearts out all night in front of the home crowd. Can they get one more stop to give Cam Newton an opportunity to see if he can win it here in the 4th?
2nd and 8 after the penalty. And you can see the play clock was running down there as Breeze was quick to utilize the timeout. 5:40 to play here. One possession games this year. Last year they had the best record in the league in the close games. They were 8-1. And that's how the NFL works. Comes down to these critical moments in the 4th quarter.
And if I'm Carolina, I may bring some pressure. You got a backup center, a backup left guard, and a left tackle playing out of position.
They only bring 4. 2nd and 8. Goes underneath, and getting the 1st down that time is Thomas. Goes for 9 yards.
Well, if you just play zone coverage like that, he's going to find the soft spot and hit it.
Yeah.
And that's just throwing catch. That's stealing. right there, and that's exactly what he's going to do. You have to bring pressure to throw him off. I've been saying it, going to Michael Thomas, and they're not able to protect, so they're going to play that type of style. The only way you can get it, force him to maybe have a turnover, Drew Brees, is you got to bring pressure on him. Otherwise, he'll pick you apart in this area of the field.
And to your point, Whit, I think it's now time to try to knock him out of field goal range to bring some pressure.
We're south of 5 minutes here. Kamara. Good run by Alvin Kamara for 16 yards.
You know, they always say disruption messes up the wide zone. Well, they're going to see the linemen are going to shoot through these gaps, and he's just going to cut back right in behind it. He's got great feel. Watch this cut right there. We call that a jump cut, Tess.
Pretty good for a patchworked offensive line, huh?
Yeah, a minute ago he's doing the Zeke Elliott hurdle. He comes back with the jump cut. Penetration, the linebackers have got to feel there. He does it in between the tackles, not just on the perimeter.
215 pounds he's put together, fellas.
And they go I formation with Line and Ingram. And behind his fullback, trying to find something. Only finds about a yard. Think Mark's fired up?
I don't think Mark liked the call. I don't think he liked that run. You think Sean Payton cares? I can assure you he doesn't.
Remember we just mentioned moments ago that they're the best team in the NFL when it comes to fourth quarter ball control. Well, here they are, having taken over at their own 35. There was just under 9 minutes left. Now we got the 9th play of this drive coming up, and that clock is running. This is what they do. This is how they've managed wins this year. Kamara tackled by Kuechly for a loss of 1. What a knifing effort from Luke Kuechly right there.
Are you kidding me? This thing was a house call. Watch him penetrate. He sees that it's misdirection. He doesn't make that play. That thing's gone.
At the moment he takes the handoff and starts gaining speed, you think he may go here. And then all of a sudden, there's the all-pro linebacker.
Well, and they've gotten crushed by that run all night. That's been the best play for him. And he saw it. Good thing he shot through that gap, because that was going to be a touchdown.
11 tackles, 5 of them came from over 20 yards away. I mean, he just motors. Can they get a stop here?
You got to bring pressure,
coming down.
play man-to-man.
3rd down and 10. Breeze goes underneath, and Smith is going to be close.
I think he's going to be a little short based on that spot, guys.
It looks that way as Mutterlin made the tackle there.
He's going to be short, but you know, Sean Payton's going to go for it. He's thinking about that 1 seed and this thing going through New Orleans here in the postseason.
Well, and then think about the 2-point conversion right now, because if they get the 2-point conversion, the score would have been 14-7, and now you'd be, kicking a field goal here to make it 17-7. Instead, you had the rare pick 2, the 2-point conversion that was returned off the interception return, and thus why we have the 12-9 game. By the way, it was only his 7th defensive 2-point conversion since the rule came in 2015. You see him down, seemingly short of that line to make as they bring the chains out. And they're going to replace this here with that much to go.
And the thing they've done in most cases, a lot of cases when they've been in short yardage, they've gone with Taysom Hill and ran the zone read a lot. He's in the game. Be interesting if they put him back there. That gives him a two-way threat.
Sean Payton loves the variety that Taysom Hill can deliver.
Yeah, and the power back, or the more physical back in Ingram is not in the game right now. You got Alvin Kamara in the game.
See if they sprint out of this huddle. Get to that line quickly. Yes, they do. And a timeout is going to be utilized by Carolina. Let's listen in to the Monday Night Mike on Luke Kuechly on that incredible stop moments ago.
Hey, come on now, 1 stop. Good job.
Career game number 100 for Kuechly. Can he find a way to get a 4th down stop? Or will the Saints be putting this away and drawing closer to that #1 seed. You get 2 wins in these last 3 games, and it's theirs.
And this is, I believe in this call. I think Sean Payton's making 100% the right decision, because you get this first down and you go on and score, it's over. You know, as I said, these guys are going, Carolina Panthers are going fishing in 3 weeks. So I think that's the right decision. And what a play right now. Quarterback sneak.
Kamara on the pitch. Trying to cut back, and he gets it.
Wow. They go with the little toss sweep. He's got him, and that just, Kamara's just such a good athlete in space. Thomas Davis, that effort's there. Nice stiff arm, getting back inside.
And with that, we will head to the 2-minute warning. 4th down converted from Alvin Kamara. Of the NFC South through the years, and now battling at the end of the season, facing each other 2 times in these next 14 days. 2 minutes remaining here in this game as the Saints with that first down moments ago. And by the way, they can still get a first down, so this game could end without the Panthers getting the ball back, as the ball is on the 11-yard line. 2 timeouts for Carolina that they have to utilize. And Ingram is taken down there after 2. And with that, we will get the timeout. And remember the way the NFC is setting up right now. So there are the Saints. Of course, they have the head-to-head against the Rams. The Rams lose at home to the Eagles. The Bears win the NFC North. They're playing great football. The Cowboys were shut out. They're still leading the East. Seahawks, another stunning loss yesterday. Vikings, better position with the win against Miami. And in the hunt there at that 7-win plateau. The Eagles with the upset, the Redskins with the win. And there are the Panthers just trying desperately to hold on to any hope.
You know, going back to that 4th and 1, though, I'm really surprised that Ron Rivera used his timeout, knowing that he was going to need it here. So I wouldn't be surprised if Saints just keep running the ball with where they're at in the field, knowing that he's got to use these timeouts.
Remember, they took over with 8:51 remaining, and we've got the 13th play coming up, and Taysom Hill is in that loaded backfield again. As Kamara is driven down at the 5, Thomas Davis with the tackle. The 1 time out for Carolina. The last will be utilized. That leaves 1:51. We showed you the NFC, and obviously that's been the focus of our evening. And then there's the oddity in the AFC, where you have the 2 best teams in the same division, the AFC West. But the Chiefs have a better divisional record than the Chargers. That's the tiebreaker there if things were to end up the same. Chargers be sitting there as the 5 seed with potentially that great record. Texans now in position as the #2, not having to play Wild Card Weekend because of what happened between the Steelers and the Patriots yesterday. The thought of the Patriots playing on Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah, we're just not used to that. But, I mean, look, they're probably still going to finish this thing out 11-5. I think they're okay. I think the biggest thing I see in the last 24 hours is that, you know, this thing is wide open in the NFL. And, you know, in the hunt, the Colts, I mean, I don't know that anybody wants to play them right now.
And a big play here to see how this plays out. 3rd down and 4. Can the Panthers get the stop? As they go with that inside handoff, and Lewis! Ball came out at the end there. Flag as well. Tommy Lee Lewis lost control as he was diving for that stick. Remember, the 1-yard line was the line to make. Wow. Or do we have a touchback possibly here? Wow!
Yeah, that's what they're calling.
That's a fumble and being ruled a touchback. Undoubtedly a fumble, and then the ball going out, as Tony Correnti and his crew will discuss this.
Holding offense. This penalty will be declined. The ball was fumbled in the field of play, in and out of the end zone for a touchback. It is Carolina's ball. First down.
Oh,
desperate for anything, utilizing both timeouts, trying to put the game away, and James Bradbury forces that fumble that goes through the end zone, out of bounds for a touchback. Panthers ball with 1:44 remaining, only trailing by 3.
And how about this Carolina Panther defense? As long as there's a blade of grass to defend, you defend it. That's what we're taught as defenders, and they came through in a tough situation right there.
Yeah, and you got to love the pride and toughness of this Carolina defense to give themselves a chance. And go back to Tommy Lee Lewis. You'll think about that one for a long time. Game management, understanding. That happened to me before in my career. You reach across thinking about the touchdown. You have to think about the implications. What happens? If you get tackled there, possibly got a first down, worst comes to worst, you're kicking a field goal. You cannot extend. Fumble there. Look at Thomas Davis, the veteran, coming across. Those guys. Bradbury as well. Making a play. Giving this offense a chance.
Now, it's a $1:44 left, and Cam Newton's got the ball. Can Cam Newton get it done? Field goal to tie, touchdown to win. Your defense has played their heart out tonight. They've given you an opportunity. Cam Newton, can you step up? North Turner, put your offense in position to go down and either tie or win this football game.
I'd like to see it one more time.
He's going to.
Let's bring in Jeff Triplett, a rules expert.
Yes, this ball is fumbled through the end zone. It's across the edge of the pylon on the inside edge, so it's going to be a touchback at the 20-yard line. They don't have it. They don't have enough to overturn this play.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as a touchback. It'll be Carolina's ball, first down at the 20-yard line.
You know, the pylon cam actually gives you a great look at it. You see the trajectory of the ball. You saw exactly what you were describing. And it is the touchback. So is this the time, after all the heartache of recent weeks, got blown out by Pittsburgh, and then the close games to extend this losing streak to 5. And now this opportunity against the team that's trying to be number 1 in the playoff seeding. Here's McCaffrey as he goes ahead for 9 yards. Remember, no timeouts. They had to use them just to put them into position.
Yeah, Carolina doesn't have any timeouts, so you're going to have to try to work the sideline to save some
What are you waiting on?
First down, yeah.
Cam goes to the near side, and that is incomplete. Goes to the outside of Samuels. That leaves a minute 17.
And if you're New Orleans, keep them in the middle of the field and make them use time on the clock. Time is your friend right now if you're the Saints defense and defensive coordinator Dennis Allen.
They just need more urgency. I mean, they got to get to the line of scrimmage, spot the ball, get back up.
There's 3rd and 1. And they'll have the first down with McCaffrey with 5 there.
You got to get up and clock it.
Got to clock it here or get up there and get a playoff.
Just clock it. It's not even set.
And they will clock it with 63 seconds remaining in this game. See if they can get in position for that guy. Chandler Catanzaro, Graham Gano, starting kicker. In the 2nd straight game that he has missed because of a knee injury. So they signed Catanzaro before last week's game. He was with the Bucs. He was released mid-season. He was 11 of 15 on his field goal attempts with the Bucs. Missed a couple attempts against Washington. He was hitting from 55 yards in warm-ups heading in this direction pregame. Will he get the chance? Here's some pressure now on Newton. Von Bell comes in. And that was an awkward throw that was driven low and incomplete.
Well, it's the thing about Cam Newton that puzzles a lot of people. He's an upper body thrower. He doesn't really step with his lower body and generate power. And when you're an upper body thrower like Cam Newton is, you're going to lead to a lot of inaccurate passes. Watch him get all his torque from his upper body. That leads to a lot of inaccurate passes, even though the ball got tipped from Cam Newton there.
Some of that ball tipped as it was traveling across.
He was drifting, and he just needs to step up in the pocket.
Yeah.
So now 3rd and 10. As he goes underneath, and Wright is going to be tackled by Apple, and they're going to need to get to the line for a 4th down.
That's a nice tackle by Eli Apple, playing man coverage with the blitz.
He's had a good night tonight.
Yeah. But where's the sense of urgency for Carolina?
Here we go. Game on the line, 4th and 5 to stay alive. Incomplete. incomplete off the hands of Ian Thomas. Demario Davis getting to Cam Newton.
Well, they're just going to run it from the blitz here, and he's going to try to sneak out. And when he does that, they're going to blitz on the edge. Don't have enough to protect. Cam's got to get it out, but I tell you what, guys, this team does not deserve to go to the playoffs after the performance tonight.
And even there, Cam threw it behind him. You know, Thomas is expecting that ball to be in front of him on his numbers. It was behind him. It would have been a tough catch, but still should have made it.
The Saints' high-revving offense that we've watched all season long is about to win a game with 12 points. The last time they won a game scoring 12 points or fewer was October of 1998. They beat the Bucs 9-3 back then. Wasn't pretty tonight, but it's a win that gets them one win away from being the #1 seed in the NFC. Two great veterans there.
Well, this is not what the Saints wanted, but you know what? At this point in the season, you take it any way you can get it. And Sean Payton and Drew Brees realize that, and they're one win away from this thing going through New Orleans.
12-9, our final. Next week, we're going to be in Oakland. The Monday Night Football season finale before we get to our playoff broadcast will be the Raiders against the Broncos. Invite you to stay tuned for the GMC post-game report on SportsCenter. For Jason Witten, Booger McFarland, Lisa Salters, I'm Joe Tessitore. Enjoy the rest of your night, including some time with SVP to preview what's coming up on SportsCenter.
Tess, thanks. Much more to come from the Saints, Panthers, including reaction from both teams and our experts. And now that Week 15 is in the books, who's good? Who do you trust to make a run in the playoffs? We try to put everything in context with just a couple of weeks remaining. And it's a Monday, so you know what that means. Some absolutely gruesome beats. Seton Hall. Apparently, they're going to be a fixture throughout the college basketball season. Show starts in 3 minutes.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.